So Northwind is getting a new update soon, as you should probably know, and this update is going to bring a ton of features to the game, most notably being ships, a new ocean map, new global trade, a bunch of new stuff which I'm going to be going over in this video. This video is going to be going over literally everything that's been announced, because there is a lot that's been happening during the time that the devs have been working on this update. Alright, so let's move on to content. So the first bit of information that got released was back all the way in November, before maybe was it before Ellesmere was released? I think it was, maybe like a week or so. So before Ellesmere was released, we had the first teaser for this update in August-ish, and it was basically showcasing the movement of the new dynamic waves, the dynamic ocean, whatever you call it. And as you can see, this is just going to detail how the water's going to move, you know. So if you're swimming, it's not going to be like flat as it usually is, like as it is now. It's going to be like, you know, wavy. It's going to vary in how it moves. So it's going to be quite nice, and it'll make the game look very, very nice. Nice? I said nice about 50 times there, but well. And next we have a video made by Carnex13. He basically goes over all the different parts of the sloop model, which was leaked due to a developer having their inventory public, so he could, you know, go in, look at it all, and just quickly review it all. So I'm not going to review it because Carnex already did a pretty good job of doing that, so his video's in the description if you want to go watch that. Alright, our next piece of information comes from mid-June, so about a month ago, maybe a bit less than a month, I don't know, but basically a teaser showing the complete boat model. So like I just said, Carnex went over all of the different parts of the boat model, but this time we have like the entire thing just jammed together, all of the parts and everything, so we can actually get a good look of how it's going to be shaped and things. And here's the teaser up now. As you can see, the developer's moving the boat up and down through the water, and also the water has got a texture now, so you can see how it will definitely look in game. And what we can take from this teaser is that the ship obviously has wood and metal, also said in the Reddit post I'm going to be going over later, and it looks to be nickel and mahogany. Good luck getting that much nickel, because it's going to cost you a few pennies or whatever. It looks to be nickel and mahogany, but I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. And I'm assuming you'll need obviously both to create your ship, which would be quite nice, so you can have some customization to it. And obviously, it seems the complete model is a sloop, or looks to be a sloop, because it has one sail. Yeah, one sail. I'm not really a boatman, but that's what I'm just going to go with. And I doubt they'll actually add brigantines or galleons, so it will be like Sea of Thieves in ways, but not too much, because I'm assuming people will be able to just jump on your boat, just like how they jump on rowboats and things. So I don't think there'll be a need for galleons or brigantines. And obviously on the left we can see a Roblox character just giving us a scale for how big these ships will look in game, and it looks similar to how the transit ship is sized, so it won't be too much bigger, I would expect. And also, as later detailed in the Reddit post, there is going to be cannons on there, so you can defend yourself. It's not just going to be for transport, it's going to be, you know, you can, you know, murder other people and take their stuff too. So the next teaser we have from late June, so maybe a couple of weeks after the one we just talked about, and this one basically just showcases the new tree models, the new flowers, just new foliage and new terrain. And here's the teaser just so you can have a quick look at it. And I think the diversity of all of the flowers and things just makes it look really colourful and vibrant, and the new tree models look excellent as well. Like the current ones, they look a bit bland, and obviously, you know, they've been around since the beginning of the game, so I think it's about time they changed the tree models up, and I'm happy that they improving them, because everything's, you know, can be improved in some way, you know. And we can also see the accessories that Terrible was wearing. So if you look in the bottom left, we can see not only his really hot lantern, which I hope is added, by the way, we can also see a honed cape, new model for the honed cape, because you can see this kind of pattern going around the edge of the honed cape, and then we can see the normal die in the middle. So that's going to be cool to see another honed cape and another lantern in the game. Hopefully they're added and not just dev items, because I would like to see more like options for outfits and stuff. And also in the background you can see a house, and obviously this is Victoria Coast, which is south of the criminal warehouse near St. Paul. I'm assuming you all know where that is. That house in the background to the right, it looks to be the criminal warehouse, or it could be a house. I'm like 70% sure it's the criminal warehouse, but correct me if I'm wrong, or I'm just literally blind. You can also see there looks to be a new stone brick texture, so maybe they're remodeling the criminal warehouse as well. And I think they might have changed the angle of it, because if you go to Victoria Coast now, quick screenshot just to compare, you can see that the criminal warehouse is like tilted more towards the right, so you can see like the what's it called, the left side of it, and this it's tilted more towards the left, so you can see the back side. Oh, that sounded really weird. Oh god, but you know what I mean. But if it is a house, then I'm happy. We can have a variety of houses with stone now. That'd be pretty cool. And these next few teasers, which are quite recent, will be going over the new island being added called Beautiful Isles, from what the teaser shows, and also they just say, you know, because why not put context. And these teasers basically just show that Beautiful Isles is going to be a lot more green, have a hotter climate. Well, that's just what I'm inferring, but that's, you know, what I think will happen. So the first teaser we have of Beautiful Isles is showing a town area at night. You can see 5 different buildings being shown in this screenshot, which all look to be like shops. One on the left has, like, you know, in James Bay you have like the shop hanger things on the left, like showcase what shop it is. So I'm assuming they're all going to be shops, so you can, and I think this will all link into the new trade system, with the new crates being added to the next update, which you can buy crates from warehouses, buy produce and resources, and you can stick them in the crates, go off on your boat and sell them to other places in Northwind. I'm assuming because the next teaser basically shows a literal view of what Beautiful Isles is going to look like. So we see it's going to be flat. It's going to have some like tiny hills, but it's mostly going to be flat. And we have kind of this cove area where you can come in with your ship and park there, and it has a tiny path from that port where you park your ship, and you can go sell all that stuff. And you know, you can also see a ship there for scale too. And also we got a screenshot about Beautiful Isles, which isn't as important, but it's just there, you know. It's a bit like the one we got about Victoria Coast, with new terraining, foliage, tree models, all that stuff. We can't really compare it to another place because obviously Beautiful Isles isn't actually added into the game yet, but it looks really nice how they've done the terrain there. Good job, lads. Moving on to the Northwind accelerated Reddit post. So this Reddit post basically details all of the main features that the next update will have, all the things they've been working on through the accelerated program. And these things include pound wipe, changes to resources and crafting, a new global economy feature, ship sailing, farming, quality of life changes, and the impact of the accelerated program on the game's state. And this post was posted about a month ago, so most people know about this, but I'm just going to be going over it anyway. So let's get talking about this Reddit post. So first, let's go over the pound wipe. Now this is quite controversial. Basically what this is, as you can tell by the name, is that all pounds in the game will literally just get wiped or taken out the game. So if you have a lot of pounds, like I used to, then boy oh boy, you're going to have a rough time. Well, you've been having a rough time. You've been out for a month now. And it's not just going to be one, there may be a series of pound wipes due to the new, obviously the new global economy feature. So they might need to do some, you know, tweaks to it and make sure that it's not too overpowered. And since this announcement of the pound wipe, the community, the market has gone to pieces really. Pounds literally worth nothing. No one takes pounds. And most people take rare items such as Giselles, old limited brooches, all that stuff. Mostly resources actually, because you know all the resource things we're going to be going over in a bit. And by now the community's gotten to grips with it. Most people are coping with it well, getting resources prepared for the update. And what I recommend for you to do, if you want to obviously get started on the next update with a few £1,000, is I recommend stocking up on logs, ingots, pelts, Kentucky/Milton rifles, and Springfield/Clark muskets. So, because server hopping is obviously being removed, resources are going to be very, very valuable. So you should probably stock up on them now, before they become really, really high in value, hard to buy and hard to get. So it's just better if you do it now. And the next feature we're going to be going over is the Altercation of crafting and resource gathering. After the update, you'll need to use higher tier woods to craft higher tier smithing items, increasing the value of these items, thus nerfing the Springfield, Clark, and Kentucky Milton contracts at last. Like, they've been overpowered for over a year now. Literally, you can get 2k an hour, and now they'll be nerfed, so you'll have to get, for example, rosewood to craft a Springfield musket. Springfield musket? Yeah, I got that right. You know, and obviously this will apply to every smithing item, so I'm gonna guess like making tomahawks will require things like birch or maple. I'm not too sure. And these woods will not be cosmetic, like they won't show up, they'll just be there just to make the crafting a bit more difficult and make the items higher in value. But the problem I see with this is that it will bring more popularity towards Giselles, Jaeger/Bayern rifles, as it only takes 4 den crates to get a Jaeger/Bayern rifle, and it's one of the best guns out there in Northwind, being one of the most accurate, does pretty good damage, has a good reload speed, has not the best insurance cost, but it's alright, you can manage with it. And also the Giselle, obviously, you know, 100 to the head, 95 to the body. It is rare in treasure hunting, but since it's been over a year since the game's release, people have gotten a lot of Giselles, and there's a lot out there, so they're not too hard to find on the market at this point in time. So that's the only thing I'm afraid about happening, is that people just will not use Springfields or whatever, because there's just no need. And even now, I rarely see people use Springfields or Kentuckys, because literally Jaegers are better and they're quicker to obtain now, like as of now anyway. So next update, they need to nerf like Giselles and Bayerns, not necessarily the guns themselves, but how to get them. And Terrible next, the developers detail that they're going to be different tiered crafting stations. So tier 3 crafting stations, so you'll probably be able to craft like master smithing stuff on islands such as Rupert, so on hub islands such as Rupert. So I'm going to be guessing that there's going to be more of islands like Rupert dotted around the Northwind universe, new world, not universe. Tier 2 being on resource islands such as Ellesmere, so they'll probably be adding like the ability to craft like adept things on these tier 2. I wouldn't expect expert to be on there, because you can craft pretty good stuff on expert. And obviously tier 1 being placeable in your house, so you won't be able to craft like high tier things in your house, but you'll be able to craft like tomahawks and other things in your house, and you'll be able to just get whatever. So I'm assuming a tanning rack as well, obviously a furnace and a anvil, because you know they're all crafting stations, so they'll all be able to be placed in your house, and they'll all have different tiers. So that's also quite nice. Good to see that coming to Northwind. Also good for decoration, because houses are quite bland at the moment. And also they'll be adding a crafting delay to the items you're crafting. So for example, they gave us in the Reddit post was that if you crafted 50 pine planks, it would take you about 2 or 3 minutes to craft these planks, so you have to wait before they finish crafting. But as a side note, as a side thought of mine, I thought if you had a higher profession level in what you're crafting, so say if you have master woodworking and you're crafting 50 rosewood planks, it would be quicker than say you are expert woodworking crafting 50 rosewood planks. So it gives you more of a reason to grind to those higher profession levels, so it's quicker to craft things, you know? I hope that gets added, because it's not really a point in getting master, really. You can just pay someone else to do it for you. Oh yeah, no pounds. We'll talk about that in another video, maybe. I don't know. Next, Terrible talks about the new ship feature being added. Obviously, I just mentioned at the start of the video, so new ships and oceans and stuff. Whereas mentioned that you can now sail ships between islands with cargo, such as the ones of the global economy. They go on to say that ships will be limited to cargo and travel, but they will have cannons to defend and attack with. You'll also be able to customize your ship how you please. Terrible also says you'll not be able to steer or control the ship when on island maps, so if you're sailing from Ellesmere to Rupert, you won't be able to control or steer your ship when you're on Rupert, but they'll have like ocean maps in between where you can steer your ship, so you can steer to different islands. I think the addition of ships is a great feature and will entice more people to travel across the ocean, and just to use ships. Most people probably won't even want to go get resources or travel to different islands. Well, yeah, travel to different islands, but just to see how ships will work will be great for people coming back to the game, because it's a new feature, and will obviously introduce more players to the game because of that feature. And it's not advertised as a main feature of the game. It's mainly a side feature, but to me, it's a pretty big deal. Ships, you know, and it's also great for grinding, so you don't have to just resale. Be a bit more fun, you know, a bit more loot on the line, bit more like Sea of Thieves, I would imagine. Yeah, moving on. A small addition will be farming, so you'll be able to place a farm plot outside your house you've built. You can grow crops, which would be pretty cool. What I hope will happen is that you'll be able to grow these crops, fill crates up with these crops that you've planted, and sell them to shops. But I doubt that they will give you much money, or will be a quick process, since it's right outside your door and easy to access. So it should take like a while for the crops to actually grow, so it's not overpowered. And finally, Terrible goes on to say that after this update, Northwind will be entering its beta stage, and during the 4 or 5 months till the end of the year, refinements, additional islands, bug fixes will be made, and they hope for a full release by next year, so that's pretty cool as well. And honestly, this update has so much included, and I can't wait until we can all play it and explore all these new features. I'm so happy that this game is progressing so well, and I look forward to the future of the hit game Northwind, as we all say, or like to have a laugh about. And yeah, see ya folks, it's been nice talking. Leave a comment if you have anything to add, be deeply appreciated. And yeah, see ya.